Kenny Ongley Kian was 28 and she had everything to live for. In 1995, she had left Malaysia to pursue an education and later a successful career as an IT analyst in San Diego, California, and married American Brandon Ong. The couple were blissfully happy. But in 2003, Kenny's father, Ong B. Jan, is diagnosed with cancer. Back in Kuala Lumpur, Kenny devotes most of her time caring for her father. It is only when she's satisfied with her father's surgery that she feels she can return home in the United States. On the eve of her departure, Kenny invites her mother and some of her closest friends to a farewell dinner at the restaurant in Bangsa Shopping Centre. That night, Kenny and her mother, Pearlie, arrived late and rushed to find a parking space at the shopping mall.
I found the place a bit dark and I also remarked to Kenny. I said, "How come the place is so dark?"
After parking the car, the pair rushed to the restaurant.
She turned around and told me that she left the ticket in the car. But I don't know what changed her mind. She said, "Oh, never mind lah, I will get it and go down myself after the dinner."
Kenny and her friends and family have a lot to celebrate. Kenny's father is recovering at last and she is clearly bubbling over with happiness and looking forward to being reunited with her husband, Brandon. At the parking ticket machine, Kenny, her sister Elsie, and Pearlie join the queue to pay. Then Kenny remembers that she left the ticket in the car.
She asked me to wait there, and before I could say anything, she went off already. I couldn't follow her because my feet were hurting me.
It is a short distance to the car, but after 20 minutes, there is no sign of Kenny. Anxiously, Elsie begins calling her sister's mobile phone.
Going on to the voicemail, suddenly I became so panicked.
Something is clearly wrong. Pearlie and her daughter rush down to the parking bay where Kenny had parked earlier in the evening. To Pearlie's disbelief, her car, Proton Tiara, has vanished, and Kenny is nowhere to be seen. They turn desperately to the security guards for help, hoping they know what is happened to her daughter.
We told them that the car has disappeared. Kenny has disappeared. So we said, "Can we look at the CCTV?" But the guard told us, "You have to wait until midnight."
The guards finally relent. Just before midnight, Pearlie and Kenny's friends are permitted to view the CCTV footage. What they see is a terrible shock. The CCTV shows Pearlie's Proton Tiara speeding through the car park and then smashing through the barrier. There is a dimly visible stranger at the wheel with a woman beside him. Pearlie watched the footage in horror. Pearlie is devastated by what the CCTV footage reveals. She immediately makes a police report about her daughter's disappearance and likely abduction. Police investigators also found that the front right tire is punctured and there is blood on the back seat.
Daripada siasatan bahawa kereta yang dijumpai itu memang milik Pearlie sendiri, iaitu kereta Proton Tiara.
When they said they discovered a car, I know already something terrible had happened to Kenny.
Police investigators also found that the front right tire is punctured and there is blood on the back seat. Then, 4 days after Kenny's disappearance, a construction site worker makes a gruesome discovery. Close to where Pearlie's Proton Tiara was found, inside a manhole and concealed beneath 2 vehicle tires, lies a badly burnt body.
This happened to glance at the Chinese newspaper, and I saw them carrying Kenny, and I knew it was Kenny already, but I didn't tell anyone.
An undercover policeman, Corporal Ravi Chandran, comes forward to reveal that he has crucial information about the case.
Saya bersama dengan kawan buat rondaan di kawasan perindustrian. Sebelum kami masuk ke kawasan perindustrian tu, kami nampaklah ada sebuah kereta parking di tepi jalan.
Suspicious, Ravi Chandran decided to investigate.
Lepas tu dia buka lah tingkap tu kan. Buka separuh je lah. Lepas tu dalam kereta tu saya nampak lah satu lelaki Melayu dengan satu Cina lah. So saya tanya pada mandu kereta tu, "Encik buat apa?" So dia beritahu lah, tak ada apa cik, ni girlfriend saya. Ada masalah family sikit kan, nak bincang kan.
Unconvinced with the driver's explanation, Ravi Chandran requested the couple's ID card. From this, he identified that the driver as Ahmad Najib bin Aris and the passenger as Ong Lei Kian. As he continued to question the driver, Ravi Chandran noticed that the woman next to him was making clear sign of distress.
Saya nampak dia buat tangan macam ni kan, minta tolong kan. Tapi bila Najib tolong kat dia, dia diam. Jadi bila suspek buat macam tu, saya pun mula suspek lah kan.
So, Ravi Chandran asked the woman Ong Lei Kian to step out of the car, but the driver spoke angrily to his anxious passenger.
Yang polis ni, dia perompak. Suara dia tinggi sikit lah kan.
The situation soon turned hostile.
Dia tutup tingkap lah kan. Saya tahu dia nak lari, saya tembak lah dua dah dia makan kat tayar depan tu kan. Jadi dia pun start lari, saya pun start lah motor kejar kan. Lepas tu dia bawa laju kan, macam orang gila bawa kan, orang takut kan. Jadi saya kejar-kejar lah, tak dapat kan.
After various researches has been done, Ahmad Najib bin Aris listed as married and he works as an aircraft cabin cleaner. Najib's wife works as a clerk and the policemen follow her home. She will lead them to the main suspect. They immediately arrest him on suspicion of murdering Kenny Ong, taken for questioning to Petaling Jaya Police Station.
Suspek akan kata saya tak tahu tentang hal ini. Biasanya suspek akan kata saya tak terlibat, saya tak tahu apa-apa tentang jenayah ini. Malahan mereka akan menunjukkan ekspresi muka yang pelbagai, takut dan sebagainya. Tapi dia macam tak ada apa-apa yang berlaku. Jadi ini telah menguatkan andaian saya bahawa kita tidak boleh pandang rendah pada orang ini.
Police confronted Najib with the two ID cards taken the night of the murder, strongly linking Najib to Kenny. The police found a blue jacket, a red t-shirt, and a pair of blue jeans, all stained with blood. So on the morning of June 21st, 2003, the police bring Najib to the magistrate court in Petaling Jaya, where his confession will be formally recorded and witnessed. Since his arrest, Najib has had no legal experience criminal defense lawyer, so his family hired Hanif Khatri Abdullah.
We do not actually know what actually happened at that time. That is the role of a defense lawyer, to find out from his client what was his relationship to the crime, and then raise the necessary doubts pertaining to the case.
A police videographer records the remarkable sequence of events showing here for the first time on television. In the course of the next few hours, Najib reveals in horrifying detail how he kidnapped, raped, and murdered Kenny Ong. When Kenny is searching for something inside the car, then seizing his chance, he shuts her inside. She immediately went to the state of shock. He then reversed the car and headed at high speed, smashing through the car park barriers. The park button was spotted at an industrial area by an undercover policeman, Ravi Chandran, who took Kenny and Najib's ID cards. After this encounter, which ended with the car speeding away, Najib then stopped the car on the edge of the construction site. It was here that he ripped Kenny off.
Biasa yang tak kuat sexual desire dia memang takkan berani untuk teruskan lakukan jenayah. Polis dah pun ambil IC dia, tapi dia masih lagi teruskan jenayah merogol terhadap mangsa. Sepatutnya beliau tinggalkan saja mangsa di situ.
After raping Kenny, he drove the car to a quiet area. Here, he raped Kenny a second time, then stabbed her twice in the stomach. Kenny began to bleed. Najib tells investigator that he panicked and decided he had to get rid of the dying woman. So he lifted the wounded Kenny from the blood-stained rear seat and dragged her over the barrier separating the road from the construction site. Then, he noticed the nearby manhole with its cover removed and decided to use it to conceal his victim. It was at this moment Najib tells police he and the dying Kenny On heard the morning call to prayer.
Najib ada beritahu kepada seorang pegawai forensik tentang kata-kata akhir Kenny On. Dia kata, "Tu, saya ada dengar panggilan di masjid. Apa kata awak balik dulu dan pergi sembahyang. Saya pun mau sembahyang juga." Jadi, Najib pun betulkan tangan di dada dia dan kemudian tinggalkan dia dalam keadaan berlumuran darah.
16 hours later, Najib returned with a can of petrol. He burns Kenny's body. On September 15, 2003, Ahmad Najib bin Aris appears in the Petaling Jaya High Court accused of the rape and murder of Kenny Ong Lei Kian on the morning of June 14, 2003. Lead prosecutor Salahuddin Saidin recalls the pressure on the prosecuting team.
The tribes respond me to handle the case properly, and the public also expects a high level of prosecution and for us not to let the accused person go just like that.
Inspired of Najib's confession, his defense team headed by Hanif Khatri Abdullah aims to secure Najib.
To get the evidence, there was no clear and direct evidence. No one saw the incident and no one saw him committed the crime.
What we see may not actually what we see or what appears to be seen. That is why each and every accused need to be defended, however gruesome the finding is.
The defense team begins by trying to undermine the CCTV footage, which was such a vital part of the prosecution case.
You can never figure out the image of the person in the photograph exactly to match it with Ahmad Najib bin Aris or anyone because it was blurred.
The evidence of blood stain which was found on blue jeans and t-shirt was rebutted when Hanif finds a way to question the validity of this evidence.
Prosecution witness, especially the witness of the DPP officer, confirmed that there were no tests done to ask or to feed the trousers to Ahmad Najib. He never even checked the size of the trousers or to measure the waist of Ahmad Najib.
The prosecution comes up with a greater evidence, which is the DNA test.
They found out that the semen belonged to Najib. DNA profile proved it.
Many people question why she did not resist or try to escape during that night.
Tak boleh kata yang mangsa patut lawan dia, ada masa lari, ada peluang lari. Nak lari pergi mana? Dengan waktu pukul 1-2 pagi, dalam keadaan tempat yang dia tak tahu, malah dia kena tikam lagi.
However, the prosecution team managed to find the ultimate evidence.
Was a supervisor before, and they used a special cloth in order for them to clean the window of the plane. So I suspected that he used the same clothes to tie the neck or the wrist of the victim.
The prosecution has presented a powerful case against him. Now, he must decide whether he will take the stand. The defense team is in a tough position.
6 of us had to sit down and evaluate what will be the best option available to Ahmad Najib bin Aris.
After considering the advice of his legal team, Najib makes his decision. He's up to remain silent.
What does Najib say? No, I'm not going to take an oath. Not going to say anything on oath. I don't want the prosecution to cross-examine me. I'm not going to say anything from the accused stand on my defense on this charge.
What they did was to remain silent and not to rebut at all by calling other witnesses. They are not calling anyone. They just simply close the case, not rebutting the evidence. So I said, the law says if unrebutted would warrant a conviction.
But to this day, Hanif defends the evidence he gave to his client.
Does it mean Ahmad Najib bin Aris saying that, yes judge, whatever you decided is correct? No, it does not mean that. If it means that, then the right to remain silent is not a legal option.
At the end, Ahmad Najib bin Aris is found guilty and sentenced to death. For Kenny's mother, Pearlie, she has dedicated the rest of her life to remembering her daughter.
She was really a very good daughter. We were very close. You see, when you lose someone, your biggest regret is not being good enough to the person. So I light a candle for her every night. I think of her as though she's alive, that's all. I still sometimes pretend that she's still in America.